Hi there guys, here I am for another video. In today's video we're going to be completing the Rise and Fall of Angela Baker series, aka a Sleepaway Camp retrospective. I was trying to search on the internet for a site that would have Sleepaway Camp the Survivor that is for free and doesn't have virus or spam. Couldn't find that, so unfortunately that's not gonna happen. Sorry. But anyways, here we are. Sorry about that dog noise in the background. Sorry about that. It's so rude of the dog because so rude. But anyways, here we are. We're gonna find that information and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, Return to Sleepaway Camp is a 2008 R-rated direct-to-video 86-minute comedy horror film. I'm sorry to inform you, but there's no comedy in this film. Maybe some unintentional comedy because the filmmaking and all the things that went into this production was comedic and was awful. This was just an awful movie. It was horrible. This is Robert Hiltsig's second entry in the franchise, and this is just okay. Let's at least talk about the previous entries in this franchise. Okay, so you get a brief recap. Sleepaway Camp 1 was a horrible movie, but it had some good qualities to it. Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 were great movies, just a great deal of fun. And then you get to Return to Sleepaway Camp, which is an awful fucking movie. Okay. The shitty attitude from the characters the shitty attitude that was overwhelmed the characters in the first Sleepaway Camp has returned here. So we've got that Robert Hiltsig, excellent directing and writing. Directing and writing here. Their attitude is back. It's just really shitty. Sleepaway Camp 1 had few redeeming qualities. It had a great way to build up to who the killer was. It had a decent story to come along with that film. And it ultimately didn't feel like a bad movie at all. Yeah. This movie is just horrible. It was just a horrible fucking movie from the get-go. Okay. The first Sleepaway Camp at least had a decent beginning with the music and kids goofing off, but get this hardcore music, and then you basically 90% of this movie is Alan, this fat kid named Alan, getting beat up, just being bullied, and it's basically we went from the relaxed, the genius, the excellent, just basically the comedic, upbeat Angela just following her around while she gives her victims some morals, and victim some morals, and then yeah, we went from that to just this kid who gets beat up, and bullies others, and just not a likable person. It's like, and basically near the end, near the end, he doesn't really serve the plot anything. He doesn't serve a single ounce of anything to the plot. He doesn't serve anything to this plot. Okay, see, Angela, you followed her in Sleepaway Camp 1. She was shy, and at least that there's something redeeming about following her. She was shy, she was insecure of herself, and basically her insecurity, uh, and just a bit of mental illness, gave us the ultimate, the ending that we realize is Angela Baker. She was a decent person to follow. In Sleepaway Camp 2, we got somebody better to follow. Somebody that is fun. Both in Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. We have somebody fun. We have somebody that was kind of quirky and just kind of badass that we followed, and yeah, that's cool. She served the plot, and she was like a slice of bread. But with this one, we follow a chubby kid by the name of Alan, who barely cleans himself, says constantly flips off people, says your ass stinks, and just really just an immature fat kid. Hey, I gotta admit that I was like Alan. I was like Alan a little bit when I was in eighth grade and freshman year of high school. I was a little bit like Alan, so I kind of get it. But yeah, this Alan here isn't like the Alan in Hangover. He's more like the Alan in Hangover Part 2. That's just a stupid little thing. But anyways, yeah. This film was just garbage. It was just horrible. Okay. See, I at least like that they had some attempt to reenact some of the scenes from the original Sleepaway Camp film. I at least appreciate that. I seriously at least appreciate that they took the courtesy of the viewer to like give homages to the first one, but hey, that isn't much of a saving grace. I got these two little just generic pothead characters who are what the government wants you to perceive a pothead, not like Marty from Cabin in the Woods. These are what they want you to perceive them as. And basically, Robert Hiltzik doesn't really know shit, because basically he's like a majority of people go like, oh, you got the bitchy girl. Okay, what normally does a bitchy girl's attribute in other films has? There you go, got your bitchy girl. You got the stereotypical pothead characters who go like, hey dude, and it's, you know, at least Alan gets the shit beat out of him. I would beat the fuck out of Alan. Alan isn't a likable character. He's a douchebag who needs an ass whooping. And then there's a few little things where they try their best to homage the first one, which is these are shitty homages where you got Ronnie, the bodybuilder from the first Sleepaway Camp returns, and basically he still is kind of likable. It was like the one of like, I guess like three ones, and then you have three likable characters. And you have Ronnie, yeah, he was alright, but but they kind of made him like the old guy who suspect Ricky returns, and Angela is ridiculous. See, Angela put on this little fake little cop outfit just to trick their asses in. It didn't really work because understand that people would automatically assume that, oh, she's a cop. She must, or not she, he's a cop. And cops are here to protect us, but don't want to cross your mind as him as more of a suspect than Alan, even though that Alan has few psychopathic traits, with him being like getting angry eye when he's flying the lighter, and going like crazy eye when and stupid scenes where him and the stepbrother are looking at each other, looking at the knife, and he's like, yeah, his brother is kind of a sick fuck. This is like something that's slightly more sicker than Alan would do. He sliced the skin off all the frogs, and it's just like, what the fuck? Okay, the main bitchy girl, who really should have died in this film. No, she got somebody to save her, and it's just like, you're not being original Robert Hiltzik, you're being a cock-teasing asshole there. And then they have a few scenes where this guy is looking through a hole, then there's like the stick, and then yeah, it's nothing original. It's just mainly assholes. See, with horror films, with the victims and everything, I want them to pull my heartstrings when I see people getting attacked. But ultimately, nothing, because there's really no likable characters. Yeah, you got this African American lady who picks on Alan, and then it's just like okay. Apparently this film was filmed back in 2003, but came out like 5 years later, or the script was around. That's just some information that I heard about this. And honestly, I'm like, really, that's fucking great. Why did? Here's what I don't understand. You could have funded Sleepaway Camp the Survivor. You seriously could have like went back and made Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor. Because that film, at least from my knowledge, has a really good plot where this girl's having an amnesia, and then something snaps her back from crazy psycho bitch to just And there's some good stuff there. That could have been a decent Sleepaway Camp 4. But no, Robert Hiltzik has to make he must be in fucking love with himself. He must be in love with himself. Because he's like saying, I'm gonna make my Sleepaway Camp 4 because it's gonna be called The Return to Sleepaway Camp. I could seriously understand that if Sleepaway Camp actually had a huge fan base, but ultimately the Sleepaway Camp film fan base is cult fans. I don't. Yeah, Sleepaway Camp I believe is a cult film. Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are cult films, and I don't believe that the cult is big enough. Cult is big enough to develop a big enough demand for a return to Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, then I don't know. I think like in 2018, I don't know. They're gonna. I hear rumors that like there's gonna be a called Sleepaway Camp the Reunion 3D, and I'm like, why? Why make it? You already had your little Return to Sleepaway Camp. There's no real need for a Sleepaway Camp reunion. If you ask me honestly, I just wish for if they are going to continue with the series, ignore Return to Sleepaway Camp. Ignore it. And I'm just saying if they really wanted to make a sequel, go make Sleepaway Camp 4 a legitimate film, or better yet, make a, from my knowledge, Sleepaway Camp 4 is not like the previous three in tone. So how about this? If this is what I would wish for. I wish for you guys to make a Sleepaway. If you're going to continue to do this, I wish for you guys, just filmmakers or whatever, goes and makes a Sleepaway Camp, Sleepaway Camp 4 that ignores Sleepaway Camp The Survivor, ignores Sleepaway Camp, Return to Sleepaway Camp, and just ultimately make the film like a direct continuation of Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland. Because at least I would have some fun. And just make the film like campy, entertaining, and have Angela be the Angela in 2 and 3, and just that would just be fun. It would be good. Get Michael A. Simpson back, and say, yeah, this is where we're gonna go. Because honestly, I don't see filmmakers going out and doing very ballsy moves back in the 80s. With Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 were ballsy moves for sequels, and ultimately I wish that we could get some more, at least a few more slasher films in that kind of tone, that kind of vein. Yeah. There's a lot of people say a lot of people say, well, Freddy Krueger's can't be like that, Freddy Krueger's can't be like that, and Freddy Krueger's not so good when he's can't be like that. Understand, that's what somebody says, and I'm just randomly bringing that up because, no, Freddy Krueger is a different kind of camp, different kind of campiness than Angela Baker, and ultimately, yeah, Freddy Krueger's nothing like Angela Baker, but Angela Baker's not an essential person to collect all the films. So it's just up to you, if you're a horror fan, or not, to get the Angela Baker's Sleepaway Camp films. But they're not essentials. They're not essential horror films. They're not essential films that you could collect. They're just, Sleepaway Camp 1 is not essentials. Maybe Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. 2 and 3 if you're a fan of campy, fun, comedic horror like I am, and yeah, ultimately, just back off from the franchise. Back off. Oh, and speaking about Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor, oh yeah, you already heard that in the beginning of the video, but anyways, see you later, and they're supposed to, there might be a chance that I see Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor, but just assume that this is the end. Best thing, you just assume that this is the end of this series. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.